Hey guys, welcome back to another week. I believe this is week number 3 for the HearthStone Inven tournament. This is the hit tournament here from Seoul, South Korea. My name is Susie Kim. This is HearthStone. How has your week been?
It was great. How was your week?
Not too bad. Looking forward to today's matches because today we actually get to figure out who is going to make it to the semifinals. We have 2 members already, but who are the other 2, basically?
Yes, and I really like the 2 players that have already secured their spots at the semifinals. Lojum and Icarus, they are both very calm and they're just very determined players, and I'm excited for them. But at the same time, I'm more than excited to see 2 more players from tonight's matches to find out who will make it to the semifinals.
I am too. I mean, you said Lojum. I remember watching him play. He's the one with really very aggressive decks, and he came in very strong, extremely confident, and so obviously he secured that first spot, first guy to do so. Icarus, I feel like, had a harder line, let's say, a harder route to get to where he is, but nonetheless played really well, and there he is. Today we have Kairan versus Tranzit. Now, Tranzit, as we know, is a player who likes to come up with some decks that are not the standard Zulak or the mid-range Shaman.
Yes, he is the one who brought the Freeze Mage. He is the one who brought Miracle Rogue.
And the Healadin too.
Yeah, Healadin. Yeah. I mean, that punished him heavily, but at least he gave it a shot.
Yeah.
And hopefully he's not going to bring Healadin again for tonight's tournament.
Yeah, I mean, but I have to say, I definitely give him credit for trying. Absolutely.
Definitely.
But before we go on to talk about the players some more, we're going to go into the overview. In case you're just joining us, guys, we are rounding out the quarterfinals. It is a dual tournament, best of 5. We're going to go and find who's the last 2 members to make it to semifinals. First place, 5 million won. And again, we can't ignore that there are WCS points that come with this. And even though you guys can't read this, it's an event that we're doing here.
Yes, for the local viewers who come to visit the Inven studio, so it probably does not apply to many of the global fans who are watching the Twitch stream right now.
Not at all, but you guys can sit here and look at it because it's a very nice little notice, I suppose, on your screen.
They're basically giving like $5 gift card for everyone who comes to visit.
Hey, do we get gift cards? Oh, do we get hot 6s?
We should. There is a fridge full of hot 6s.
That's awesome. As you guys know, this entire tournament is sponsored by Hot 6, and I'm pretty sure all the people here who want to get this gift for the event will also be able to have their fill of Hot 6 and keep us awake and excited for the tournaments to follow. But now that we've gone through the event, we've gone through the overview, like we said, there's WCS points to this, hence why there is an English cast. There wasn't one all up till the quarterfinals, but here we are. Quarterfinals, let's just talk about what had happened in the last 2 weeks. Day 1 and 2, as you guys can see here, Lojum made it. Kairan and Tranzit are the 2 who are going to duke it out today. Then in Group B, it was Icarus who makes it. Tail and Dogok are the ones who are going to fight for that final spot.
Yeah, so basically these 2 matches that we have tonight, they are rematches between the players who have already went up against each other. So there's definitely a lot of pressure going to Kairan and Dogok because they have lost against their opponents only a week ago.
Yeah, just a week ago, and so they're coming back as a rematch, basically. Tail versus Dogok, I think, will be really interesting again.
Yeah, and especially Kairan versus Tranzit also, because Kairan lost to Tranzit 0-3, and that's a lot of pressure going into this very tournament.
All right, well, speaking of Tranzit, there he is from Team Galbi Love Dog.
And if you guys don't know, Galbi is the nickname for Kranish, one of the most popular Korean HearthStone player.
Gotta be. So Kranich is a love dog? I'm really confused about this.
I guess the teammates are little dogs who love Call of Duty so much that they decide to name themselves like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Kranich definitely has a big fan club. I know he's very popular, not only in Korea, but definitely in the West as well. Here we can see, yeah, like you said, here's Kairan. Here's the other player. He's on Team Reaper?
Yes.
Yes. And, he lost to Transit, like you had said, 0-3.
Yeah, and this person doesn't get a lot of support from the community or the teammates because his team is definitely more of the underdog team, and I have never heard of Team Reaper. I don't know any other player from this team other than Kairan, and this is my first time seeing Kairan in an offline event at all.
That's super exciting if you think about it, because there's many members from Team Sunbi. We obviously know they're huge powerhouse. We have members like Transit. We've seen
the
on
dogs
many
that
different
love Call of
yes,
Duty.
the dogs I love Call of Duty. But we've seen him on many stages before. You know, he's done HearthStone Masters Korea. He's just been all around and a lot of experience.
Kranich never made it to the Masters Korea, but he participated in a lot of the global tournaments.
Right. These are names that we know, and it's really interesting that Kairan is this one guy just kind of from nowhere who showed up, and obviously the community doesn't think that he has a chance against Transit.
Susie, I know that you're one of the 27%. Am I right?
Kind of am. Okay, I feel bad about this matchup, and I think I said this last time as well. I'm good friends with Transit, so I want him to win. Of course, I want him to succeed, but at the same time, I kind of feel bad for the underdog. This guy, I don't even know if he has friends who are here cheering him or anything.
I have no idea, but we do have a lot of people waiting at the studio to cheer for their favorite players. I was so excited and happy to see so many people show up because I think a lot of people who are here tonight, they're not from the professional HearthStone team. They're actually HearthStone fans.
Oh, that's actually really exciting. So, bunch of fans here to watch their favorite players here at Transit and the newcomer Kairan. We can see, oh, surprise, surprise, the Warriors have been banned out, but we have a Rogue deck and a Hunter deck. This is new.
Yeah, that is definitely different. So Transit has Shaman, Rogue, and Warlock. Kairan has Shaman, Hunter, and Druid. And Transit taking another piece of gum as usual.
I mean, I think it helps him release stress. It just kind of helps him focus a bit. I know a lot of pro players that do that in different games as well, where they look at you and they go, I need my gum. Can I have some gum?
There is a really popular European player called Stensivka, and he always chugs on his orange juice and banana and the chips and salads, whatever he wants. He's just like chugging it nonstop while playing.
Hey, it's whatever helps you get through the match, whatever helps you relieve stress, because you want to be in a tip-top condition where you know you're making the best possible choices. So
yeah, I know, and it actually takes a lot of calories to do all the brain work with HearthStone, right? So you definitely need the bananas to keep it going.
Gosh, man, how much calories is Transit losing then if he's brain working and chewing
gum at the same time?
I can't even. Oh gosh, maybe there's a percentage on that, but who knows? Anyway, it looks like we are going to get ready to get into the first game. So hold on. Welcome back, guys. We are here. It is Hunter versus Warlock, and we've got that wink of approval
from the innkeeper. Yes,
from the innkeeper.
Definitely.
All right, let's talk about these mulligans. Kairan just Xing out everything immediately.
So this does seem like a mid-range Hunter with Larry Jenkinson, and I actually like having Larry Jenkins in my deck as well. A lot of people use something like Stampeding Kodo or the Rhino, Tundra Rhino, but Larry is such a surprise element to bring that instant lethal. This hand from the mid-range Hunter is very disappointing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Just quick shots and ugh.
Wow, all spells.
Okay, and for Transit, not too shabby of a starting hand. He's gonna coin out and
play double one drops. I actually really like that. So he's probably gonna just play the wolf next turn and then try to use a either in-game boss or the Darkshire Councilman instead of going for the coin out 3-drop play. and that actually plays really well against Deadly Shot, so I guess that works.
All right, Kairan here. Again, his hand just a bunch of spells. Not really much you can put up on this board here, and Trans is going to just take a shot to the face.
That bow is actually really nice, because otherwise Kairan could have used something like some other spell to just get rid of the wolf instead of going for the animal companion, because what if you get Huffer?
Alright, well, we've got 2 Imp Gang bosses and a councilman. Just gotta figure out which is the better choice here.
Most people start with the Imp Gang boss and then play Darkshire Councilman and Voidwalker at turn 4. That is pretty interesting that Transit decides to play otherwise.
Do you think it's just because he feels that Kairan doesn't have any resources to be able to get rid of this this card with 5?
Maybe, because
HP.
Kairan did use a quick shot. That is the worst minion to have.
Oh, gosh, seriously. Well, he went for it. So far, it doesn't seem that luck is going Kairan's way. He's not really getting the cards that he needs. All right, here is that Imp Gang boss. Oh, lovely. Abusive Sergeant, and just Transit is just clearing off Kairan's board as soon as there's anything on there. But now he can definitely knife juggle and release the hounds.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the ideal turn for that, because Transit does have the Imp Gang boss on the board and Possessed Villager, so I don't know if this is a perfect turn for that. I'm trying to find out if there's any different line of play that he can make here. I guess he's gonna attack and do the wombo combo. Yeah. This is a sick combo against the aggressive decks like the Zulok. I really want to see how Transit's gonna respond to this.
Yeah, like I said, it just didn't seem like he really had much of a choice. He wants to get things up on this board. Hope that he gets lucky, that it'll get rid of some of these.
Second shot to the face.
Come on.
Yeah, that was not a very good juggler.
No, it wasn't. The Abusive Sergeant still staying up, and now he's going to have to use his hounds to get rid of the different cards. But you know what? I would have to say, for Kairan, at this point, that was probably the best trade he could have made.
Exactly. That was actually the best way for him to come back on the board and field state, because he only had bow and a lot of spells other than the Knife Juggler and Unleash the Hound combo. So I'm sure that Kairan is actually really happy about this, but the Transit doesn't have any way to deal with this Knife Juggler right now.
Yeah. He's just going to throw that Imp Gang boss out there.
A lot of people have cut down Unleash the Hound to only single copies, so I think that's why Transit is not playing around the second piece of Unleash the Hounds. But what if Kairan has a second piece and he gets that?
What if? I'm going to cheat and take a look here.
All right.
He does.
He does.
Shh, don't tell Transit. All right, we're gonna what we quick shotting. We're gonna try to get rid of that Voidwalker.
So this Deadly Shot must hit the the different target. Yeah, that was the wrong target for the Deadly Shot to go to.
Okay, well,
this is actually going really well for Transit, because he has a Doomguard next turn, and if he gets either a 1-drop or 2-drop, then he can play the Doomguard without discarding any card from his hand. But Kairan does have the Beast Avengers at hand, so that's going to come in very handy.
Beast Avengers, unite! Next turn, obviously.
So yeah, Transit just kind of have to discard the Defensive Argus. It's not as exciting.
And yeah, what's he going to hit with?
I don't think it's worth
Doomguard.
trading, because if Kairan has Houndmaster, then he's going to Houndmaster the 1/1 anyways. If Kairan has another... I'm trying to think this through. But
I guess he's going to go for that
yeah,
trade. Just try to get rid of everything on that board.
that's
Gets
a lot
himself
of
another
damage
imp.
that
Yeah.
Transit's missing this way, but he really wants to play around Houndmaster and Kill Command, I guess.
I almost wish that the Beast Avengers would have like a fanfare noise that comes out when all the beasts just come on the deck. Some sort of
Simultaneously?
Yeah, like a superhero. What's the word I'm looking for? Music or? Oh wow!
Yeah, Transit has actually fully cleared this board. with the Crazy Alchemist as well.
Transit has been, just every card in his hand has been utilized in a really well way.
Kairan has, drew it into the second Beast Avengers at turn 9, but not this time, unfortunately. This Urgent Squire, though, it's so disappointing.
There's really not much. Now both of them just have to rely on whatever they top deck here.
Wow.
Oh.
That is a sick top deck. And Transit does still have one copy of Defender of Argus left, and he still has one copy of Voidwalker left. And there's some chances that he can draw into Taunt with their Dark Peddler, which he didn't draw any yet.
All right, well, here we go. Well, I'm not sure what he's thinking about.
He's probably thinking about what card he wants to get from this top. And that's a pretty good one.
It's not bad.
It's a 2-drop. He can play it right now. There's just no way that Transit is going to kill this Urgent Squire and miss 5 damage.
Yeah. He's just going to try to solidify board control by throwing down that Knife Juggler.
Oh, man. I mean, yes, that killed the Doomguard, but what does it really do to the board?
Yeah, what are you going to do with all the other things? This Urgent Squire just...
I don't think Kairan can come back from this state anymore, even if he gets a second piece of Beast Avengers, really.
All right, he's going to tap. He knows he probably has this.
Yeah, 2 juggles. And Trey's also got Urgent Squire. Yeah, this is it. This is actually it. That was lethal. I did not see that part.
Transit knew that he could tap at that moment, even though it brought him down to 11 health. Just because, yeah, he knew that he had lethal
yeah,
before
as long
we
as
did.
he got another minion or got the lucky juggle, then he knew that he was going to have that lethal. So he got it. That's pretty good.
The lucky juggle definitely saved him, and Transit just really dominating that board. It's almost like all the top decks just worked out in his favor. He was able to utilize all the cards just super well.
And that mulligan, the starting hand from Kairan, that was just...
That was really unfortunate.
Horrifying. Yes. quick shot, kill command, and deadly shot. Like, you can't really do much from that hand, especially against Zula, because they build so much early pressure.
That was, that was a lot of pressure. Just, you could see Kairan's face just kind of crumbling. Even by turn 3, he's like, I can't do anything at this point. And he put up a good fight, but I think we knew pretty early on that Transit was going to have the upper hand in this matchup. But you know what? We'll have to take a look and see what the next matchup is going to be.
Yeah, and I want to point out that this is a reason why a lot of players are not bringing Mid-Range Hunter to the head tournament, because it doesn't do so well against Aggro Shaman or Zulog, which is so popular in the current tournament meta. Although we get to see a lot of Mid-Range Hunter and Ladder, I don't know if that's really a good idea for people to bring Hunter, especially when everyone is banning Warrior.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that. Everyone is banning the Warrior. Why is it that we don't see too much aggro Hunter decks?
I actually have no idea. Actually, I think the explosive trap with the Face Hunter would actually work so much better against the aggro deck, so I guess that might be the better choice to bring for Kairan.
Okay, well, you know what? We will take. We'll ask Kairan about that some other time here and see what game number 2 brings us. We have Shaman versus this Hunter deck.
Yeah, this is definitely a much better hand from Kairan, although he does start with a coin, so it's not as exciting to have that Fiery Bat in your starting hand, but it's still a 1-drop minion.
All right. Ooh, Transit. That is... Today seems to be his day.
So far, so good.
So far, so good indeed. We're going to start with the Tunnel Trog. And what can Kairan do to answer this?
There's nothing much he can do immediately. I wonder if Transit is going to make this trade himself or not. The only way he gets punished is Leok.
Okay, so...
And he has 33% chance of having the Trog alive, so he's going to go for the shot and try to get lucky.
Oh,
yes, that was very lucky indeed.
Look at Transit's face. That was a cheeky little smile on him.
Some sick skills from both of the players.
All right, we're going to totem up.
Oh, that's
nice.
actually a really good one as well. Because
Very, very
now
good.
the totem one does not die to the bow.
Oh, he's just going to quick shot that thing away. He's like, nope, I don't want anything to do with you, which leaves a 0-2 stone scale? Is that stone claw?
I actually have no idea.
Yeah,
what it's
I always
called.
forget.
I just call it the taunt totem.
I always call it the snake totem.
The snake totem.
Yeah, it looks like a snake, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think they're. Yeah, it's like stone claw.
I think it's stone claw.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just know what it's called in Korean name.
All right, transit so far.
I guess it's time for the Stranglethorn Tiger, especially because Kairan drew into the Houndmaster. But this is a mid-range Shaman deck from Transit, so Kairan can definitely get punished by something like Hex. So he's gonna attack first and then make his decision.
Yes, he's going to see what card he gets from that Azure Drake. It's another Mana-Tide Totem.
I think it was actually better to play the Drake on the other side next to the Taunt Totem, but I guess it doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah. Okay, still Transit having control over this board here.
Double Mana Tide, wow.
Yeah. Well, I'm also... So is it worth playing the Tusker and seeing if you can get a good totem out of that hand?
Well, you don't really have a good totem though, because unless you get Flingtone Totem, even if you get Flingtone Totem, you still have to trade your Drake in. But I guess Trans is gonna go for it. I think it was actually better to try to get the Mana Tide. I think it was much better to play the Mana Tide here because this is turn 6 for Kairan and Trans does not have any answer to Savannah High Main, and you really need that Hex right now. I mean, we know that Kairan doesn't have Savannah High Main at hand just yet.
Right, but Transit doesn't, and he needs to really play around that. All right, well, turn 6, Kairan.
This is a really confusing turn.
Yeah.
Because you definitely want to save your Animal Companion and Houndmaster for turn 7, and you kind of want to save your Knife Juggler in case you draw Unleash the Hounds.
Unleash the Hounds, yes, that would give it full value. But no, he's going to go with Animal Companion, see what he gets. Probably at this point, I was going to say it's probably the best one he could get, but that Azure Drake just can trade right into it.
And this seems to be a sick time for Thunderblow failure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Totem up. Bam.
Even gets a Taunt Totem.
Just all his totems getting that extra damage.
Yeah, Hunter is at 9 HP. Well, this
There
is a
we
pretty
go.
sick top deck for
All
Kairan.
right. Let's see how well we can juggle.
This is the second time in a row that Transit gets this Wamba combo against all these mid-range
Juggler
and
go.
aggro decks.
Okay. I feel like we need to really concentrate. Ooh.
Wow. So you can kill everything and keep a dog alive.
Wow.
So this is why I thought it was better for Transit to play the Mana-Tide Totem earlier. Now he has 2 copies of Mana-Tide Totem in hand, and yeah, there's not much that he can do here.
Like you said, a lot of players have been only using 1 copy of Release the Hounds, so that could have been what Transit was expecting as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really play around something like Knife Juggler and Unleash the Hounds, especially when you're playing a deck that really builds upon building a strong board. I think there was a slight issue on Kairan's computer. Or
All right,
not.
I think it's fixed. No, yeah, I think there was some sort of... well, 2 Mana-Tide Totems is all Transit has right now to put on his board.
So Transit is definitely thinking about using the Primal Fusion, and he doesn't think it's worth that. Oh, that is actually
nice.
a really good draw, especially against Kairan's Beast Avengers.
I think that was very smart of Transit. Play it passively, see what cards he can get from those Mana-Tide
Wasn't it
Totems.
Better to make an attack into 1 Mana-Tide Totem?
You think so?
I don't know. Actually, never mind.
Oh.
So
Let's
Transit definitely needs Spell Power Totem right now. He does have 2 chances to get it.
All right, the question is, do we...
This is like 1/6.
Come on.
Oh!
Yo! Nice. So
he might actually use the Lightning Storm first, and then if he gets unlucky with the Misha or Liak, then he's gonna drop that Flame Juggler. I guess that's what he's gonna go for. Oh my gosh.
And Flame Juggler. Oh!
Wow.
Kairan is super happy about that one.
What are the chances? 3 damage to both of the minions that have 4 HP. These are the only 2 minions that have 4 HP. But still, Kairan is in a very desperate position. Oh,
Are you kidding
yes,
me?
Unleash
No
the Hound
way.
With Liak.
Yep, I think the tides have turned at this point, and Kairan looking super good. Oh my god.
Wow.
He was finally able to make this Hunter deck work for him.
Yeah, there's just no way that you're gonna trade into the Flame Juggler here.
Alright, well,
That was
Transit,
so unlucky
he knows
from Transit.
there's really not much else he could do. Transit knew somewhere along the line he lost that control. And Kairan's going to take a game on his Hunter deck that is 1-1.
I still do wish that Transit would have played one of his Manatite Totem when he had the chance to do so, before getting all the pressure from the opponent. I think if he played it a little bit earlier, then there were chances for the Manatite Totem to stay on the board for more than just one turn and get more extra answers for him.
Do you think it was greedy of him to go for the Tusker at that time instead of the Manatite?
Yes, I do think
Yeah.
so. I don't think it was really necessary for him to use that Tusker immediately when he had the Rockbiter weapon already to trade with Stranglethorn Tiger.
True.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, in a way, it could have dropped the Tusker in hopes that a Manatite would have spawned from it, or...
I don't know.
But why do that when you actually even have the card in your hand, right?
Yeah, and if you play the Manatite Totem the turn before and then use the Thunderbolt Valiant, then you're going to give it 2 extra attack anyway.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So I don't think there was a huge difference between the 3-2 and 2-3.
All right, well, the score is now tied 1-1, and here we go. We're going to head into game number 3.
Oh, and let's talk about this new Shaman skin.
I was
that
going to
we
say,
have.
what is that?
So it's called Morgul the Oracle, and you have to invite a friend who has a total class level below 20, and once they hit 20, you can actually get the skin by inviting your friend and letting them grow until level 20.
To 20?
Yes.
What if I just make a second account for myself?
That's what a lot of people are doing.
And then we just get 2 card backs. Oh my gosh, I get a cute little icon and a card back?
Yeah, exactly. And you actually get an extra card pack just by inviting a friend, if I remember correctly.
All right, that's what I'm doing when I get home. Okay, early on, Rockbiter.
And this does seem like a mid-range shaman from Kairan. So we are definitely going to see the Morgul, the Oracle, using a lot of hero powers with all the bubbles foaming. It's going to be adorable. This Totem Golem is so strong.
I think Kairan just, with that win, kind of gained a wave of confidence.
I mean, that is not a Rockbiter weapon or Lightning Bolt, but that is still something. I think you play both of your 1-drops and kill the Manatite Totem instead of the Tunnel Choke. I think it's more important to not give an additional draw.
Just make sure he doesn't get, yeah. No more cards for you, sir. And play that Argent Squire.
Trent is not happy about this hand, but if he knew what Kairan had in his hand, that is so heavy. So because Kairan is using the Lightning Storm here, that means he's not going to be able to do much in the following turn instead of just hero powering and using any one-drop spell that he gets or a 1-drop minion.
All right, well, Tusker is going to bring him. Oh, that's very nice. Provided that Kairan doesn't get rid of it next turn.
Yeah, you could kill the Tunnel Truck here and try to protect your Flame Tongue Totem. You could also try to do the favorable trade by killing the urgent square. I think it's slightly better to kill the tunnel tracker because you are definitely scared about something like, I don't know, feral spirits because Transit does not have lightning storm at hand. Yeah.
Get rid of it.
I definitely agree with this line.
Okay, he's gonna use a totem. Makes his thing from below cheaper in the
I guess
long
it
run.
makes sense why Kairan used a lightning storm the turn before because his hand is so heavy. He just wants to get rid of the lightning storm as soon as possible and get overloaded and get just not worry about the board state. But this is Transit's board right after he gets lightning storm, so I don't know
how Kairan's gonna be able to clear this out.
Yeah.
This is a pretty heavy board. Wow. Yeah, this is a pretty hefty board for Transit at this point.
Yeah, which minion do you kill here? I guess he's just killing a 3-1 and killing the Plankton Totem with the Fire Elemental. But Transit does have that Hex sitting there.
Alright, he's gonna get rid of the Fire Element. Oh gosh, very good call. Pull out another totem, see what he gets. Pretty good. Alright, so what does Kairan do?
I guess he's just gonna play as many totems as possible and play things from below afterwards. Oh, that's a good
was
one.
lucky. That was very good.
Yeah, he's just 1 mana short of hero powering in addition to this board, but this board seems very strong.
Oh my gosh,
really.
this hand, Kairan was able to turn it around.
Yeah, and this only costs him 7 mana. 3/2, 3/4, 3/4, and a 5/5 town on the board.
Amazing.
For 7 mana. That is pretty sweet.
That is the deal of the century there. All right, what's the Azure Drake going to bring him? Oh.
Double mana tide totem again. This is like a nightmare.
I know. Transit realizes this too. He's like, why is this happening to me? Look at him right now.
Oh, look at all the buff the totem golems are gonna get.
And a buff Valiant. Oh,
Even the healing totem, wow.
that's, I have to say, it's beautiful on Kairan's end. And knock it all off with a nice little heal.
Alright, so that is a lightning storm, but I don't think you played just yet.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth playing.
It's definitely not worth playing because it's not going to kill the Thunderbolt Valiant, which is the #1 card to kill. I guess he's just going to go for the Feral Spirits and Mana Tide and Hero Power and settle for the Lightning Storm in the following turn.
If he can get the totem that he needs here, the spell power, oh, but he doesn't.
Kairan should still have another Lightning Storm. But he can also use something like, oh, I guess he's not going to go for Alikure. Yeah, he just wants to maximize the value that he gets from the Inspire. This makes sense.
Wow, I can't believe he's at... That totem is a 7/2, Harsol. When do you see totems that strong?
It's VGA-shable. And an okay value for Master of Evolution as well. I don't know how Trans can come back from this board state,
Yeah,
really.
the further and further the rounds go, it looks like Transit is at a deficit here. And how lucky he's going to get? Not too lucky.
Wow,
he can use
got another 2 damage to the Totem Golem. That is very disappointing.
Do you get rid of
You
the totem? Yeah.
2.
And
I guess he's
then-
going to leave it there. Okay. Is it time for Alikure?
I think so. Go for it. No, he's going with the
I thought it was actually better to play the Alikure here because you actually want Alikure to get hexed over the 7/7 Flame with Faceless, but I guess this works too. Doesn't really matter what he does at this point.
I think Transit really needs to calculate out what his next moves are going to be.
Well, the thing is, Trans already used both copies of Lightning Storm, so I don't really see any way of him coming back from the board state.
No.
Unless he has something like elemental destruction, which we almost never see in a mid-range shaman.
I'm going to cheat and tell you that he does not.
So, I guess this is GG for transit,
I
really.
think so. I mean, right now he's just kind of throwing whatever he can, see what cards he can draw. But
yeah,
like
never
you said,
surrender. Wow.
Oh.
And there is the second piece of Lightning Storm. Even gets Spell
I don't
Power
even-
Totem. So lucky.
Transit is just... He knows that this is it. I think he's just going to have to
Yeah, this is
take
lethal
all
right
the hits to the face. And Kairan is going to go ahead and take that second win. Underneath that face, he's very happy, guys, even though I know he's not really showing it. But yeah, the score is now 2-1.
there. He's never going to be too happy unless he gets the final win against Transit.
I know. And Transit right now, you guys can't see it on your screen, but really needs to contemplate and think about what he wants to do for this next turn.
Well, Kairan only has Rogue left. Oh, no, he doesn't have Rogue. He has Druid
He has
left.
Druid left, yeah.
So, I guess Transit has a fairly good matchup against Druid for any of the decks that he has left. So, I think Transit definitely still has some chance there.
Okay, so the Shaman Druid matchup you think would be beneficial to Transit?
Yeah, the Shaman Druid matchup and the Rogue Druid matchup is not too bad either. It really depends on what kind of Rogue deck this is. I personally think that Nizak Rogue could do better against Druid because they do have more minions to play, and Druid can't really deal with a board full of many minions. But we also have to see what kind of Druid deck and what kind of Rogue that both of these players brought.
That is very true. Transit, I know early this morning he had sent me his deck list and then the last minute was like, I changed some cards, and I was like, ah. And then that was the whole story, you know, and we'll have to see why he changed these cards and what he thinks is going to come from it. But yeah, we'll have to see this next game. We're going to go right into it.
내가 대자연을 수호하겠다.
All right, Shaman versus Druid.
And with a recent patch, the Druid animation effect changed with the Innervate. So we're going to see something slightly different. I don't know if that's a bug that the golden Innervate is glowing like that with the circle.
It's pretty though.
It is pretty. But you're going to see a similar effect when Malfurion plays that. And once again, Malfurion is evergreen. Happens all the time with Druid.
Evergreen.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay. So,
You could play Wrath here. Oh, Innervate Swipe. I guess this is fine too.
oh, that seems pretty...
Yeah, this
early.
works unless Transit has a second copy of Totem Golem. But even if he plays that, Karen can still deal with it with Wrath. And Hex is actually a pretty good draw from Transit. There are a lot of targets for Shaman to use Hex on.
I like how Transit was deciding which sapling to kill. As if it made a
It
difference.
matters.
It matters.
The left or the right one. Karen can go for something like coining out a 4-drop. He could also just play his Zeroed Up Saber.
Fandral Stag.
I wonder if it's worth it for Karen to keep attacking face with the 1/1 sapling. Usually you want to trade against Shaman. Because if he made the attack last turn, then he could have killed the Spellpower Totem by this turn. I don't know. He's just going face over and over again. I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't know.
Because there are cards like Flametongue Totem.
Which Transit has now. Let's see. All right, Transit, what is your course of play here?
If he uses Feral Spirits, then he cannot play Fire Elemental next turn, so I have a feeling that Transit is going to go for the Tusker Totemic instead.
All right, these decisions are very important at this point. If Kairan wins one more, he's the one who advances. Transit is out.
Exactly.
And because I like him and he's my buddy, I would like to see him next week, you know? Oh, he's going to go for it. He's going to go for the Feral Spirits.
Yeah, I don't know about this because even after Transit places that Flankton Totem in the middle of the taunts, they are still going to die to the Violet Teacher and leave the Violet Teacher at 3-1. But yeah, I don't know if I agree with this line of play.
All right, well, Violet Teacher.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed that Kairan decided not to kill the Spell Power Totem in the earlier turns. I don't think the 2 damage matters that much, really. Like, now you're really scared about Lightning Storm because of the Spell Power Totem. Unfortunately, Transit does not have it, does not try it.
Yeah, Kairan doesn't know that either, though, and he's just kind of growing out his board.
I definitely think that Kairan should have killed the Spell Power Totem a couple turns ago.
Maybe he just doesn't see it as a threat.
He really should, but he just didn't get punished by it.
Living life on the wild side. All right, he's going to take the Feral Spirit, get rid of one of the Violet Teacher's students, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, so far so good. That Hero Power does wonders. It's kind of finally going to attack the Spell Power Totem. Doesn't look like it.
Spell Power is still there, man.
I just don't get it. Does that 1 damage matter that much?
I guess he just wants to keep it. He doesn't see it as a threat. Maybe he's just taunting Transit. It's like, you know, even with that
Kairan
totem
doesn't even have, of course, like, what is that? Savage Roar. So I don't know if it was really that worth that. It's a bit weird. So with Wrath and Hero Power, Kairan can actually take out the Fire Elemental, which is usually a really difficult card for the Druid to deal with. So I like that over playing Druid of the Claw. But he can also just get rid of Suicide as 3-2 minion. I don't think it was worth it.
finally, that totem goes away.
See, this is what I mean. He just kind of just wasted 5 damage on a Spell Power Totem when he could have just dealt 2 damage in a row with the saplings.
I don't know,
you care
man.
About, You care about those 3 damage and you waste the 5 damage to the Spell Power Totem eventually? Like, oh. Miss, please.
All right, well, Transit is trying to figure out here, does he play... Which card does he play? I mean, I feel like he should have gone with the Azure Drake just so to see if he can get another draw.
Yeah. Well, there's not much that Transit can do, and the Feral Spirit doesn't do much against this board anyways, because the Hero Power is going to take out one of them. Let's draw Nourish from the Raven Idol. About time.
Yes? Ooh.
Oh, he actually got a minion instead.
Yeah.
The Draconic Crusher.
Yes, I was going to say.
Yeah. That was definitely the strongest minion, but Kairan has to Hero Power this turn, so I thought he might go for some other minion, but Kairan is going to take the greedy approach and... Yeah, he's just going to save the Draconic Crusher for next turn. He doesn't have
If you're
going
to win, you got to win
right
big, so that's what Kairan is off to do. He knows that this one is the one that matters. If he wins this, he goes on to the semifinals with the likes of Icarus and Lojum.
Yeah. I guess Kairan's debating whether he should use the Druid of Saber as charge. I say definitely go for it. Yeah, especially against Shaman.
Nice.
You just want to clear their little minions as much as possible because they can get so much value out of it. Ooh.
What does Transit do now?
He has been overloaded, so he can't play the Valiant and Hero Power and use a Flankton Totem, get rid of the Druid of Claw, but he is still going to try to get some value.
Oh,
At least he got a Taunt Totem. That's pretty good.
Okay. Which one we going
So I guess
for?
Kairan's not using the
Ooh.
Draconic Crusher just yet. Just gonna...
Just clear off the board. Yeah,
so
everything.
this was a misplay because he should have played the Draconic Crusher first and then play the Power of the Wild and give buff. Kairan is making a lot of little mistakes here and there. Transit does get the Lightning Storm, but it is going to leave the Draconic Crusher alive. And this Druid of Claw, this is going to die 100%. This game is actually turning around very quickly.
I was gonna say, Transit was in a pretty bad spot, but all the little mistakes that Kairan has been making, like you said, is starting to really catch up with him. And now they're kind of back to where they were. Transit with the rock biter.
Well, the thing is, the value of each individual minion from Shaman and Druid definitely has some much high value minions, but I don't know how this is going to work out. If Transit continues to build up his board and he gets something like the second Drake, he can definitely come back from the situation. And right now, this is amazing too that he got the Taunt Totem.
Yes, that is very beneficial for him at this point. Everything that Kairan does now is just going to come to what he top decks.
Yeah, I'm looking at the deck list from Kairan. He doesn't run any copy of Nourish. He has two copies of Markabia Shards, but he needs it right now, unless he's not going to have any minion to use it on.
Okay, well, Transit, what are you going to do? He's going to use that Rock Biter.
Yeah, and I like the fact that he is using the Rock Biter here to play around Markabia Shards. He probably has some... Wow!
Oh, beautiful.
Another Taunt Totem, and that was a beautiful sequence of play from Transit as well. Alright, so Kairan can definitely use his Markabia Shards if he gets it in the next top deck. But other than that, he's just gonna have to go with his top decks because he doesn't even run Drake.
Alright, well, next turn, he's gonna have to... Is he gonna hex
another
it?
mind game from Transit. He's saying, hey, I have another minion, but I'm not gonna play it just yet.
Alright, Violet Teacher, is that gonna help Kairan at all?
And that was a slight misplay from Kairan again because he didn't hero power down the Taunt Totem before. Because if he did, unless Transit gets a Healing Totem, which was only 1/3, he was going to be able to get rid of the Taunt Totem after taking the 4 damage. It's only really 2 damage if he gets the hero power. And then, yeah, get rid of the Flame Tongue Totem. But because he didn't hero power before, he's going to get heavily punished by this line of play as well.
Like I said, man, it's a tiny little mistake that Kairan is making. It's really starting to catch up with him. And what's he have?
Wow.
Oh, Doomhammer. This is big.
Oh, that is not a Healing Totem, unfortunately. But... and Transit could even save this Hex. I don't think it's really worth that. Oh, let's think about this. I guess he could save his Hex, but...
He could save the Hex, use the Spell Totem to whittle down the Tiger.
Alright, so this way he's actually keeping the Totem Golem at full HP. I actually like that. So this way... I mean, it does die to... everything does die to swipe, but... oh, man! Transit's probably like, oh, I hope that one person's not swiped. He's trying to hero power down my Flame Tongue Totem. What do I do when I get swiped down? But
alright, there is no swipe.
Jinx.
Oh, Transit.
Healing Totem? Yes.
Yes. That is very beneficial.
And Transit is only 3 damage off lethal at this point.
이거 정말 화끈하군요.
And oh god.
So even swipe doesn't save Kairan here.
Are you kidding?
Swipe,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not gonna save him. He needed this.
He needed this one turn. Yeah, one turn earlier, and that would have been great. He knows it as well. Kairan is going to tap out pretty much. And Transit, just a sigh of relief. Look at this guy. He understands it's 2-2. And
exactly. So
he
this
needs
is going to be the match point for both of the players.
Yeah,
now.
he needs to bring his rogue deck out.
Yeah, Transit is well known for his rogue plays since 2 years ago, so I'm really happy to see what he can bring to the table now.
Yeah.
He did bring a rogue in the earlier rounds, if I remember correctly.
I believe so too, but we didn't really get to see much of it. I had asked him about this rogue deck. He thinks it's pretty good.
Against what class, though?
He just
that is an
he
issue.
was again, this is Transit. He's very confident and he's very proud of his deck. So I want to see what kind of show he's going to be able to give us here. And then we'll be able to take a look at what kind of cards he brings to the table. But he must win this as a rogue. So now, what is this? A rogue versus...
It's going to be rogue versus druid. And I guess the Beast Druid is going to do pretty well against rogue because they can really flood up the board, especially because rogue doesn't really have a good way to deal with the board right now with the Blade Flurry gone from the meta. So yeah, I wonder how this is going to work out. But again, if this is a N'Zoth rogue from Transit, then the rogue might actually have a pretty good chance against the Beast Druid.
All right, we'll have to take a look. If it's anything like World of Warcraft, I'm going to say the Druid probably has the upper hand.
Oh, really?
But hey,
I mean, if the Druid has Innervade
yes.
or Well
and
Grip, then definitely.
I guess it all depends on the rogue spec. Like, are you combat spec or anyway? That's the wrong game. It's the same game, but it's not, kind of, sort of. But yeah, it's probably going to be Druid versus Rogue, and we're going to have to go right into game number 5. Take a look, see how things are going to pan out. This is exciting. So it's Transit versus Kairan, guys. Game number 5.
Yes.
And Rogue versus Druid.
The Backstab SI agent I definitely keep from the rogue side. This seems to be a Miracle Rogue from Transit. And Backstab SI is always a great starting hand against aggressive decks like this one.
SI7. So I know in the upcoming World of Warcraft patch, actually, the SI7's quite important part. I play a rogue myself.
So you have a lot to talk about.
I kind of do, but I mean, that's just lore.
All right, never mind. We see Undercity Huckster from Transit's deck. So this could also be a hybrid between Miracle and N'Zoth deck. We'll have to see more cards to figure out exactly what kind of deck this is.
Okay, we will take a look here.
And the winner of this game is gonna go to the semifinals directly. The crowd is cheering. They're getting all excited. It's really fun to hear everyone making their own comments and thoughts on the plays that each of the player makes.
It's super loud, guys.
It is so loud.
Yeah, where we're casting from and where the audience is, very close to each other, and I can hardly hear myself talk.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear it.
All right, Kairan, what are we going for? He's going to go for the stealth.
I would definitely trade here because you are scared about Fan of Knives. Whoa.
Oh.
I don't think that's a card a rogue can play because they have so many combo cards. You can't really rely on a top deck. Yeah, that's probably the worst card you can get from Druid, really.
You guys didn't see me, but I literally just shrugged at HearthStone. I'm like, what? What is this? Transit can't believe it either.
Oh, another mind game from Transit.
Oh. All right, Kairan.
Does he go for the second Mercury Shards? It is so weak to sap. But if he doesn't do it, Transit is going to just backstab SI agent. Transit keep holding on to the Astral
I
Comedian.
know.
He's like, hey, I have a set card that you gave to me, and I'm not going to show you which one it is, but you need to play around that.
What is Astral Community really going to do for him? Oh, dear. All right. Well, that's 5 to the face and a couple of saplings.
So this is definitely a backstab SI agent turn, and he can also kill one of the saplings. Oh, and he's holding onto that card once again, saying, hey, this is a one-drop card. What is a one-drop card that you can get? Savagery. I can't really think of any good one-drop card from Druid, really.
From Druid?
Wow, there's so many spells that
Roots.
Karen's thinking. Oh yeah, Living Roots is a card.
Raven Idol?
Raven Idol. Got one.
I'm actually just looking at his deck list. I'm cheating. I apologize. Okay.
Karen really wants to draw with the Wrath. But if he does, he's... Well, I guess he can and hero power down the SI agent. I think he really has to draw.
Oh.
I don't know if I agree with that. Is he also going to use more of his shards? That's a second draw card that Kairan has, and as I said earlier, Kairan does not run cards like Azure Drake or Norse, so every draw card matters. I don't know if it was worth to save this 1/1 sapling, which is only going to die to the dagger. I don't. Yeah, I think that was another misplay.
Another
from
small
Kairan.
little misplay by Kairan.
I think that was a huge misplay from Kairan. We're like, what is this 1/1 sapling gonna do?
He's gonna swipe?
Yeah, that is the only way to kill this Drake. And he doesn't have any minion to play anyway, so it's not like he's losing anything this way. Yeah, I definitely
There's something very satisfying about a big board swipe, you know?
Yeah.
But
against Rogue, you're not going to get much value out of it unless Transit plays Vile Teacher. I like playing double 3-drops here rather than just playing Tomb Pillager. That does seem to be the better line of play.
the 2/3 drops, yeah.
Yes. But one of the swipe is gone, and Transit did see the swipe get top decked, so maybe he's going to go for the Tomb Pillager, but I still think it's better to play 2 minions over 1.
I think he's just... Oh, he's...
Yeah, the coin is not that important because Transit doesn't even have Auctioneer right now. Ooh, that is actually a really good one. He can even coin out the Merc of his shards.
I think that's exactly... Oh.
Yeah, even if this card gets stopped, you're not really scared about that because you're going to get value by killing at least 1 minion this way.
Right, he's going to go with the Azure Drake, see what card he's going to get. Yes, no, no, yes, no, maybe.
So much mind game.
Yes, no, or maybe, Transit. Please answer me.
I mean, it really doesn't matter which card he plays because he can play another minion next turn and play Eviscerate to kill off the Stranglethorn Tiger next turn. I think it's actually better to play the Drake here.
Yeah.
Because it is a 4/4 over the 5/4 stat from the Tomb Pillager. But if he really values the spell power, then there's a chance that he's going to play his Tomb Pillager here. Either one, doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. All right. And Tomb Pillager is the winner. We got a winner.
And Transit even plays his Deadly Poison.
Oh.
And that is because he didn't see any weapon destroying card from Kairan in the previous games. I guess that makes sense. That's actually a really good top deck for Kairan because he can get rid of 2 minions instead of just 1.
I'm just gonna... Alright, so he gets rid of 2 with his face.
Is he thinking about going face with the Stranglethorn Tiger? I don't think so because this guy was playing around Sap so much before, so I don't think he's gonna take that risk in this turn either. I mean, Kairan has double Savage Roar, but he doesn't have much of minion left on the board, so... I don't know if it's the right approach to just go face with the 7/7. I mean, it's only gonna die to backstep and Tomb Pillager if he just goes face this way.
Alright, well, first off... Oh! He is just gonna go straight face. Whittle him down to 13 health and... Wow.
I mean, I think if Kairan was going to take this approach, then it was actually better for him to use 1 copy of Savage Roar. In Transit topped at the Sap, so this is actually really good.
Alright, Transit, how are we going to deal with this Tiger, first off, and the Inspire card?
If Transit top decks Preparation... Is he gonna go for it?
Yeah.
You know, he's not gonna take that risk. I don't think it's really necessary.
And that Astral Communion just kind of hanging out with the rest of the cards.
But really, what if you used Savage Roar last turn? If you were gonna go face anyways. I don't know. So Transit fully clears Kairan's board. And
Eviscerate.
deals 14 damage to face. If
Wonderfully
he uses his
done.
weapon too,
Yeah.
I think he should. Yeah, he definitely should.
And brings him down to 10.
Yeah, and sets up for lethal next turn. That's it for Kairan, isn't it? Even if he uses Wrath, it's still in the lethal range. Even if he uses Hero Power, it's not going to save him.
I love that Transit keeps playing around with his Astral Communion card.
Yeah. I really think that Kairan should have used his Savage Roar
Wow.
earlier if he was going to go face.
Like you said, that 7-7, him going face there. Transit, well, let's congratulate this guy first. He has made it. He made it around all 5 games. And won with a rogue deck of all decks. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of Warlock, a lot of Shaman and Druid, but to see a player actually come to victory with a rogue deck?
Well, this is a guy who brought most various number of decks to this tournament, and honestly, he was definitely the better player out of those two. Kairan did make a lot of misplays here and there. I mean, some of them minor, some of them
Major.
some of them bigger than the other. But he definitely got punished for some of the plays that he made throughout this match. And I think the person with better skills really took his prize.
Yeah, for sure. And Transit, like we said, has a lot of experience being on the big stage. And Kairan, this was kind of like a first-time luck-based. I don't want to say luck-based. It was a first-time underdog story. He made it very far, to be completely honest with you, and I really hope that we get to see him some more in future tournaments, whether it's international or here just in Korea. But we can see that there are very strong players up and coming and emerging. But first, I think we're going to have an interview with Transit once we are set up with that. Before that interview, let's go back to that 7-7 to the face play.
If you're going to do it, do a 9-7 to the face with a Savage Roar. There were definitely some opportunity that Drew could have won this past game if he went a lot more aggressive. And his hand was yelling, hey, just go aggressive. You have Savage Roar. You just have to go face and not worry about the minions. And that one play when he didn't use the Wrath for a draw, that was also a big one too. He just dealt 2 extra damage to face that way. But if you're going to take the aggressive route, then why don't you use the Savage Roar earlier? Like, I don't know. I'm just so confused about everything that he did, really.
Lucky for us, we can ask Kairan this afterwards and try to ease our curiosity and why he didn't do such a thing. But yeah, I'm very happy for Transit. He has joined Lozum and Icarus into the semifinals now, and I'm pretty sure he's absolutely thrilled. In the next matchup, then before this interview, in the next matchup, who do you want to go up, Dogok or Tail?
Dogo, I talked to him last week, and he was talking about... Actually, we're going to have a short interview
here is
right
the interview.
now.
All right, the interview is here, guys. Here's
네,
Transit.
안녕하세요.
Please introduce
4강 올라간
yourself.
트렌지
Hello,
선수입니다.
this is Transit. I made it semifinals. Tell us about how you feel about making
좀
it this far.
요즘 메타가 운빨 메타라 그냥
is very
마음 비우고 막
boring and
달렸는데
very
올라가서 되게
standard,
기분
but
좋아요.
I just took no pressure and it somehow worked out for me. Twice in a row you lost to Kairan.
제가 좀
you ever
플레이
nervous?
실수한 거를 느꼈거든요. 그래서
I
좀
did
천천히
make some
하자고
mistake.
제 자신한테 스스로 말했죠.
So I
천천히
was just
하자고.
really mad at myself about that one mistake that I made. Let's talk about your rogue deck. When were you starting off your win from the last game?
그냥 뭐
I just
마지막
felt it
경기 하기 전에
right
무적이 너무
before
유리해서
the
솔직히
last
질
turn.
거라고 생각 안 했어요.
Yeah, I was very confident about my rogue deck overall. I'm really happy about that.
아 전공의 인격이요?
And what did you think about Astral Comedian?
그냥 재밌었어요.
It was just
재밌었어요.
really fun to see that card from Undercity Huckster.
네.
In the semifinals, we would love to see some amazing games from you. Tell us about your
많은
mindset.
분들이 우승하라고 되게 조언 많이 해주시는데
A lot of people have been very helpful
열심히
to
해서
me,
꼭 우승할 수
and I would
있도록
love to
하겠습니다.
perform my best and take the winner's trophy. And that was it for the interview with Transit, and we're going to have a short break afterwards, move on to the next match of the day.
We definitely are. We're going to get ready for Dogok and Tail, and the winner of that's going to go ahead and join Transit and advance to the semifinals. So we're going to take a short little break, and we will be back shortly.